right, thanks for stopping back in. We're going to continue with this watercolor that we started yesterday. Remember I said we're going to go from light to dark, light in the background to dark in the front. I've sketched a few lines on it to help speed things along. I still think we're going to need another day on this one before we kind of get it looking right, because it's going to, just the way this is laid out, this one's going to take a little bit of work, but just to get it looking right. So we'll see where we're at when it comes when we run out of time tonight. So I'm going to turn this over here so you can see it. There you go. Not the best. I may reposition this camera one of these. This is kind of a small painting. So, but here we go. We're just gonna jump right into it. Like I said, I put some things on there. Sketched a few things on there so we can get started. I'm gonna bring this up. Just put it on there. Like I say, keep moving. Don't stay in one spot. And you'll begin to see what we're doing. We're just gonna kind of move along here. Move along. See what we can get done before time runs out tonight. Get that rag in my hand real quick. Shadows out there. Put some shadows out there. We'll fix this. We're just putting things out there. Yeah, just put it on there, and then we'll go back to it and we'll start fixing things. Let's find us a smaller brush. Let's see. We're limited on the colors here. Let me open this very old watercolor box. Maybe we can get some darker. There's a darker green in there. If it'll still, I don't even know if it'll still work. This one right here, like I was saying, it's 50 years old. Let's see, it has a darker green, but it's working. I guess watercolor lasts a long time. Huh? Lasts a long time. I bought this, golly, when I was 16 in St. Louis for a little of nothing. And I was just looking through things last year. I found it among my old sketchbooks. And it's been 50 years. 50 years, and I almost threw it away, and I said, well, let me see if the watercolor still works, and they do. Amazing. Amazing. And when I bought this, I was 16, I was working, I didn't have a ton of money, don't have a ton of money now, but, I bought this at a mall, if I remember right, in St. Louis, in Florissant. It had to be in Florissant, yeah. Yep, sure enough. At least we got something up there now. You see, you can kind of see what we're shooting for. Light in the back, dark up front, and maybe when all's said and done, it will look halfway decent. We don't know. We don't know, but. I don't know, but I'm glad I opened this box because this is a better green. This is a better color green. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's funny, this 50-year-old watercolor is better quality than the stuff that I've been using is only a year or two old. And this 50-year watercolor is better quality, which is amazing. You're making your leaves on something like this, so you just scratch them up there, little ovals, or make you a little oval with a point on it. If you notice trees when their wind's blowing or whatever, leaves are all kinds of shapes. Doesn't matter. Don't waste a lot of time trying to get a leaf shape right. Just put a bunch of. What's the guy, years ago, I don't know where I was at. I was in the Army, I think. But this guy could draw. I didn't know it. We were killing time somewhere. But he drew a snake real quick, and he was drawing snake skin. And I thought, man, that's complicated because I didn't know the way to do it. He just he just made a bunch of little circles, and man, it looked awesome. A bunch of little circles. I never had thought of it. And he would vary the size depending on where they were at on the snake that he drew. You know, I thought, man, that's brilliant. And it looked, when he did it a couple of seconds, and when he got done, it looked like a real snake. Just circles, little circles, and bigger ones in spots where like the skin was stretched, you know, like where it was larger, and smaller, you know, near the sides, and then he puts, you know, the scales on the stomach, and I was like, wow, that's pretty good. Yeah. Made a realistic looking snake in a couple of seconds. But see, that's, I mean, I don't know that he had schooling, but it's the benefit of school. If you can get, you know, you can go to a school, go to it, you know, an art school. I just never could. Afford it or be in a position to do it. I spent my life somewhere else now. But yeah, if you like art, and you definitely go to an art school, man, you can learn so much and so quickly, you know, so quickly. What I learned over time, trial and error, and that's a slow way. It's a slow way to learn in the art business. Once you learn everything they got to teach you, you still gotta learn that way, but still, it puts you way ahead. Puts you way ahead. Sure does. It surely does. But maybe you can see already that what we're doing. I mean, it's starting to contrast a little bit, and all I'm doing is putting a different shade of green on here, putting the dark stuff in where the shady spots would be. But this is just from that template. See, and the template's not defined, so you gotta. Templates are handy to use, but you still gotta do the work and define. Even though I drew this one myself, so I know where I want to put things, but if you download a template off the internet, at least you'll have a photo of it, and you'll know where the shadows go and everything. But yeah, we want to make it dark up here, kind of uniformly darker, and then I'll show you tomorrow, probably tomorrow. I don't think we're going to get to it tonight, but we can use color pencils because it's watercolor. When we go back, maybe tomorrow, we can use colored pencils, and I'll tell you, it can make or break you, you know, if they work, you know, if you can get them to do what you want, put them in the right spot, and it can really help you out. And there ain't no rules of engagement when you're painting. You just do what works, you know, because it's a watercolor. You don't have to do everything in watercolor. I mean, you use what works, you know, use what works. Hell, if you need a piece of burnt charcoal from the fireplace and you think it'll help you in a spot, grab it. I mean, it's your painting. It's your painting, and you're trying to get it to look right. And that's all that matters. There ain't no rules of engagement. Do what you got to do. You know. If you need ink, put ink in there. The only thing you can't do is, you know, just put oil paint in there. That's not going to work. Not on this paper. You can put acrylic in there if you want to, but I don't know. I'm just not so fond of acrylic, but you could. I mean, you could ruin it with acrylic. Watercolor pencil. I mean, not watercolor. Colored pencil is what I would suggest, helping you when you get down close to where you want to be. Colored pencils, because they work well with watercolor, and it can really save you. Can keep the eye on the time here, so we're not going crazy with time. Remember what I was saying yesterday, don't spend too long in one spot, and I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I shouldn't, but I'm trying to get some darkness in here. But I'm doing it right now. I'm wasting too much time on this right here. I should be moving around. So I'm going to start moving around. And we can start using colors, you know, we're mixing. Everything's not one color. Everything reflects. So you can put damn near any color into any part, and make it work. You know, you can. You know, almost anything, because it's there in nature. There's color everywhere. You know. There's tons of colors in everything. It is there. This is a banana tree that I meant it to be in a banana tree. I hope it. Yeah, I know it kind of looks like a banana tree because I got one. I got one outside. There's all kind of colors in banana trees. Have you ever been around them? They're yellow and green and various shades of green, brown. Parts of the leaves die. There's crazy colors in them when leaves start to die. So, like I said, whenever you're painting, it's your painting. So, who's to say? Who's to say that color doesn't belong, or And I was saying, go back and fix it. You can get, if you get just keep moving, and then go back and fix what you think doesn't look right. That's the whole thing. That's the whole deal. That's some yellow there. That's some yellow there. That's not going to hurt. That's not going to hurt, because you will see some yellow. Yep, you will. You definitely will. Sure will. Yeah. Take some of that yellow and put it in. Take some of that yellow and put it in this tree. Take that yellow and put it in your palm tree. It's going to mix with that green anyway. Yeah. Take some, put it at the base. Put it at the base of this big tree, which is what this is. This is meant to be. Maybe you don't see it yet, but maybe you won't see it. I meant it to be a root of a big tree, the base of a large tree that's out of the frame. It's out of the frame. We'll have to make it. We will make it darker. We will make it darker, but. We're just getting some colors in there. Keep it moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Yep. Keep moving. Got our trees there. Their trunks are round, right? Normally I should have taped this down maybe, but tape would have gotten away. But if what I should have done really is just tape this on all the borders so it doesn't move. You don't want what's happening right here. You don't want it moving. was a mistake I made, because this paper is supposed to be for watercolors, and when you hang it up it was stiff, but now that it's absorbing the water, which I didn't think it would, like it is, it's absorbing the water and curling up, which is really frustrating because it's not what it's made for. It's supposed to take this watercolor, but it's not. It's acting like butcher block paper. A little bit better, but not much better. Not much better. You see our tree right there. That's the base of another tree. I'll put some roots down there. We'll put some roots and stuff down there later. But we're just getting things up here. This is the base of another tree. Roots will come out. Yeah, we can delineate those roots later with some black or something. And let's see what we got here. Let's put a little more. Let's put some, if this is going to work for me, let's try this. A little darker sand color over here, maybe. Yeah, that's better. Let's because we're gonna fill in this dark area back over here. We don't want this light at all, because we want that to be the focus. So as you can see, well, you can see already, but we're gonna get this looking much better than it is. I hope. Because right now it's not too impressive, I know, but hopefully we can get it. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna get this darker back in here. You can see we're putting different colors in there, and it ain't looking great, but it's starting to look a little bit. It's starting to look a little bit better. A little bit better. Because we want some contrast so our subjects show up better. And sometimes, it's a composition. This is not. I just wanted to show you the templates, and so I didn't think much on the composition of this. But yeah, sometimes the composition is going to cause you some work, but it'll cause you more problems. But if you're doing it for somebody, like I say, first of all, you're gonna have a choice of, if you do commissions for somebody, you're gonna have a choice. You do what they want, you draw what they want, and then you got to make it work. Which is, now that's a task. That's a task, because I'm not fond of that. I just do drawings for myself, and if somebody wants one, or I'll do one for them or something like that. But I don't. I mean, I will do it if the money's right, but then you got to spend time on it. I won't do anything if there's a deadline on it. Like, oh, hell no. I'll get it done when I get it done. There would have to be a lot of money in something for for me to follow some kind of deadline, because, you know, I paint to begin with to get away from that kind of life, you know. Yeah, so, no. If the money's right, of course I would, but within reason, I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't stress myself out over it for any amount of money. If the deadline was something where I had to, you know, that would make me uncomfortable, I wouldn't do it. Like, no, can't do it in that time span. Okay, we're gonna have to go back to the green. These are, well, maybe you'll see after we get going, but these are trees going down the beach that way. So we're gonna put some dark up there and then some black to make them. These need to be really dark because they're way down the beach, and we just want to show that it's like the edge of a wood line. And all I did was just draw a bunch of lines. And then when you're doing something like that, you don't have to be, you actually don't want it defined too much, you know, because in reality, if it's, especially depending on time of day, you look down the beach, you can see that there's a wood line there, but you can't see every tree, you know. This will help. This will help highlight some of the stuff in the forefront. It'll also give a little bit of perspective, hopefully. You know, hopefully. Now, oil paint, you could have painted this if you planned it. We didn't plan anything, as you know. But if you planned it in oil paint, you paint that background first, and then you know, paint your subjects over it. That's much easier than what we're doing here. We're trying to make it look halfway decent, and we didn't do that. You know. Now there's all kinds of bushes and stuff and plants, so you want to fill in right there. It'll help you. You don't want it looking like a golf course, because it's supposed to be the jungle. But anyway. But it's helping it look a little more, hopefully, a little more like you want. But let me see what we got. Yeah, we're already closing on time. So yeah, we're definitely gonna have to work on this for 3 days. We'll work on it tomorrow. And we'll get, hopefully tomorrow we'll maybe able to wrap it up and then get some definition and make it kind of look, so you can get a idea what we were trying to do to begin with, and make it look halfway decent. Too much water on that, so that's not working very well. So what I wanted this to be is like right in the edge of the jungle where it comes out on the beach. There's plenty of jungle areas that come all the way out to the water, and you got mangrove roots going right into the ocean. You know, so whatever you draw, don't sweat it. There's somewhere that looks like it. so don't try to the thing is, don't try to restrict yourself. If you do something you think is like, oh no, I'm gonna have to redo that. No, probably not. You can make it look right, probably. You know. You can probably make it look right. And I'll show you when we get done what we could have done. Well, there's no point really. But you could, what I should have done is taken that blue tape and made a border all the way along and held this piece down. And then when we got done, you would have had it framed itself. But you can put, if you wanted to keep something like this, you can put it in a frame, and these edges will be covered anyway. So it'll make it look better. You know, it'll make it, just framing it will make it look better, you know. And if that's not enough, I don't know if I have any right here, and I probably don't. Do I? Actually, wait. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Actually. Oh, this is an old thing I did about 5 or 6 years ago. But that right there is matting. This, you can buy this, and you can put matting. You can put matting on there, and that'll cover a lot of. It'll make it look better for you, you know. But yeah, you can buy matting, different thickness, not expensive, and you can put that on there, and then put the glass on top of it, and just that alone will make your picture look better, especially if you got edges or something you're not happy with, you know, like this one. We're not done yet, but you know, this one is a challenge, but because of the way I laid it out, that's my fault. But it's a challenge trying to get this to look right. But as is often my drawings, you know, it's all right. I'm not making excuses for myself. I'm just, you know, a lot of times I'm trying to fix my stuff and make it look right. Which you're going to wind up doing, you know. You're going to wind up doing that at times anyway. A little bit of green in there is not going to hurt. Cover that root. It's kind of a shade. Cover that root right there. It's a rounded root. Now see, if you can contour things to make them look the way, either with pen and ink or with paint or whatever, contour it to make it look, to give the illusion of shape. You know, actually it's two-dimensional lines, but you can contour it like that, make little lines to give the illusion of shape, and it make it look like a tree root, you know. But put shadows in the back, or you know, we're gonna have to figure out what what she's wearing and what color, what shoes, whatever shoe colors we want to put in there. Maybe she was in a plane crash. Something like lost or something. Looking for her suitcase. I don't know. Looking for a suitcase. Where in the world is my suitcase? All I got's my dancing shoes. All I got is my dancing shoes on. Yep, yes indeed. Yeah. Okay, now let's try to put some darkness in here around these trees. I don't know how this paint is gonna work. Let's try this. I don't know how this is gonna do. It looks kind of like red almost, but ooh, damn. Yeah, I don't know. We can make lines and we'll see. We'll blend that in with something. Blend that in with something. But if you can see, I don't know if you can see that well from that far, but these contour lines help. They help define. They help define the shapes a lot, actually. Let's see if we can. Yeah, we gotta get that helps. Yeah. This brush is not the best. Not at all. Not at all. Okay. All right. I'm just going to put some shadows down there, but we're running out of time for today, so we're running out of time for today, which is why I said we're going to need another day to make this look like we want it. Yeah, we are, because we never even got to our other templates today. Let me see if I can move this for a second. I don't know if we can get you closer, but you can see things are starting to hopefully you're starting to see what we're talking about. Like I said, light to dark, but we're also going to have to go back and probably make the background darker than it is too. I mean, I knew we probably would. It's a little bit too light, so we'll darken that up, and we'll see how far we can get tomorrow. But we'll be getting much closer tomorrow to finishing it. We may need one more day, which is possible, but maybe not. But I thank you for stopping in, and stop in tomorrow. Have a good night.